ready to go in a minute. Ah, no need. What are we doing? What are we doing? Okay, here we go. Hold on, I'll be right back. Aloha. We are early. Change of plans today. No Mauna Kea. Hopefully tomorrow. We'll see. Hold on. Okay. Almost ready. Aloha. How's it? How's it? Okay. This is going to be a little tricky. Alright. Oh my goodness. This place is just wow. Unreal. Oh my goodness. The drive, the everything. We're on North Kohala Coast on Big Island. At the Heiau, an ancient Hawaiian temple that was built 700 AD. This is one that involves a little darker part of Hawaiian history. And real fast, I'm gonna show you guys. I don't know if you guys can see, but there in the distance is Maui. You zoom in. That's the island of Maui. Haleakala. Zoom in on YouTube. Troy, how's it? How's it? I didn't expect to see Haleakala. Oh, Lanai, definitely. Now, let me show you guys how I'm going to be walking. So if I'm slow, you know why. Beep, what is beep beeping? I'm going to be carrying my Starlink on my head. All the way up there. Oh, dude. Check that out. We got the moon rising. We got the moon rising. That is so cool. Oh my gosh, that's awesome. Let me set these phones up better so they're not facing two separate ways. Center you there, center you there. Perfect, my Kai. All right. And let's rock and roll up. Oh wait, let me lock the door. Oh, and the sign. Let me walk around. It's my keys. This is Mo'okini Heiau, and also down the road is the Kamehameha bird site. So we're probably going to be paying a visit to both. Is the wind bad? When we get up over there, I brought microphones. We'll see. So yeah. Yeah, so the wind is coming up. I had a lot of time to do protocol on the way up and pray because it was a scary off-roading drive. There we go. Wow, this is awesome. Under the full moon. This is gonna be epic. Hey, uy, try wake up Matt. The best place, the best part, no more trees. Hey, good morning, Matt. Right. I'd forgotten. It's a little bit of a walk up and down. Hey, mahalo for all the support, guys, on TikTok and Facebook, YouTube. Whew. That's right, I forgot to post them on Facebook. Windy, huh? John, how's it? When I get up there, I'll take the microphones out. We're almost there. How far did we walk? Not that far. Hawaii, aloha. Whew. I was gonna walk up here and do the live, but figure you guys can join me as we walk into the Heiau. Hey, Kyle. What's up? This is called Mo'okini, not Mu'kini. Hey, sorry, that was a bad joke. Mo'okini Heiau, 1,300 years old. Whoop. Aloha. Aloha kupuna. Aloha ali'i. Aloha to the spirits. Hey kalamai. My name is Joe Punohu from the island of Oahu. I'd like to be in your area for a little while to teach, to share stories, to explore. Aole pilikia, there's no ill intent, no disrespect intended. With your permission and your blessing, I would like to enter this sacred place. If you would like me to leave, give me a sign and I will go. Mahalo. Brah. Wow, look at the view of this place. The site is significant to the Hawaiian people. Please show respect. Do not move, remove, or wrap the rocks. Stay on the designated paths and trails and off the rock walls. Archaeological sites are fragile and irreplaceable. They're also protected under blah blah blah. Any person who violates this law is subject to a fine of up to $10,000. We're more lenient, yeah? You break a kapu, it's a $10,000 fine. Before, it used to just be you die. I haven't had a chance to put my phone down. Phones, my tripod, my Starlink, which I'm carrying on my head, which is why the heavy breathing. Definitely not because I'm out of shape. Oh no. If I'm not mistaken, this is the place, yeah. This is the Luakini, the altar. I'm not care about the big ones, bro. Bigger ones just mean harder to walk around. I care more about this one is significant to me because of the stories I'm going to tell. Imagine, wow, telling the stories of the god of war at the first Heiau where he was worshipped centuries ago with the supermoon rising. Oh Lord. I am up at North Kohala Coast. There's Maui. You can see out in the distance, Haleakala, the little slope out into the ocean over there. We are at an ancient Hawaiian temple. We're gonna put this down over here and I'm gonna give my arm a rest. All right, there, I have one arm free now. That's awesome, Hawaii. That's awesome. Only me tonight. Again. My son is sick. He got stomach bug or food poisoning. So he should be up and running tomorrow. That's why I didn't go Mauna Kea. That's one place I won't go by myself. Oh yeah. Look at how the rock walls are made a millennia ago. Look at that, it's still intact. Aloha. With your permission, I would like to enter. Yeah, down the road by Kawai High. Dang it, I don't think I can go inside here without the thing. So we're gonna hang outside here for a bit. I'm getting away from the Wi-Fi. I keep forgetting. I cannot just walk wherever I like walk. So a little bit about this place here first. I have surpassed my fitness goal for the day. How's that? I didn't know I walked 2 miles today. This is Mo'okini Heiau, North Kohala. Very big, to me, very sacred, very ancient. In fact, I'm gonna take off my shoes and my socks. So you guys can watch me struggle a little bit. Also, I decided to not shave for the whole month of October, so enjoy. Yeah, I don't know, bro. These walls are pretty darn big. These walls are pretty darn big. I haven't been to the one in Spencer Park, but yeah. This place... Yeah, let me take off my other shoe first. And I'll share you what I know. In fact, I might even pull up the recording so I can make sure I get it correct. I know that this place is under the caretaker of a certain family that takes care of the heiau. This place had a kapu put on it a long time ago, and it has been in place ever since. But I think I want to say the 1980s or the 1970s, the kahuna of the heiau, the caretaker of the heiau, she lifted the kapu. So this could be a place for learning, a place for teaching, a place for learning, and all of that good stuff. So this, I'm just gonna go with what I know. This place was built 500, 600, 700 AD. This was never an original Luakini. This heiau used to be part of, this was a Kuamo'o heiau. This was a heiau, oh, I'm sorry, I'm blocking my Starlink. This was a Kuamo'o heiau. This was a genealogy, ancestral heiau, a place that you would come and learn. And as you guys can tell, a place where you would come and learn the stars as well, right? I mean, look at that sky. It's just perfectly clear. Wow, just look at that. Oh my goodness. You know what? I'll show you guys the sunset. Look better than me this way. Northwest Big Island, yeah. The sunset looked better than me. There we go. Yeah, this place is... So, yeah, this place was built a long time ago. This place, when it was in existence, before human sacrifice was brought to Hawaii, right? One of the Hawaiian gods has always fascinated me. And this Hawaiian god predates the Polynesian gods. The Polynesian gods are Ku, Kane, Lono, Kanaloa, or Tu, Tane, Rono, Tanaroa. They're found in Tahiti, they're found in Samoa, they're found in Tonga, they're found in a lot of places throughout Polynesia. The 4 major Hawaiian gods were here, or the 4 major Polynesian gods, I should say. But prior to that, there was one, and a single monotheistic deity, just one god, and the one god's name was Io. There's not much known about Io, but Io is also a word in Hawaiian that we use as hawk. Io is the Hawaiian hawk. Iolani, as in Iolani Palace, is hawk of the heavens, or Io. Io is the bird that flies the highest, the closest to God, the closest to the heavens, right? I went to Lapahoihoi today, beach. We spread my sister's ashes last year, so we went over there to pay our respects, and her keiki gave a little oli for their mother, and we went swimming, had a little bit of fun. It was nice. Driving back with my son and his girlfriend Paige, we were driving in the Jeep. We had the roof off, cruising up, and she is a zoologist. Hold on, I don't know why YouTube's loading. I think YouTube's loading because it's a higher quality, yeah. So it buffers at a higher. It's a lot more data YouTube takes. So back to this. So I was just telling my son about our genealogy and about we come from a man named Kamehameha and Heva Heva, and they come from a man named Pa'ao. I'll get into that in a minute. I'm like, this heiau up here is a kuamo'o. It's an ancestral heiau, a place where you come and you learn your genealogy, your ancestry. And I was thinking about coming up here today, but I wasn't quite sure. And at that moment, like a sign, there was a eel that flew up above us, a Hawaiian hawk. I have never seen one before, ever, ever, ever seen one before. And to me, that was definitely special. They're only on the island of, oh, they're only on the Big Island, from what I understand. And then as I was driving here, I saw it as well because I started looking at pictures of it and flight patterns. I'm driving from Honoka'a up to Hawi, and in the mountains, I saw another hawk, another eel, and I'm like, oh my goodness, this is destined. You know, this is wow. I mean, yeah, I'm driving up. I've never been here before. I've been to this Heiau, but I've never been up to Hawi or on that road that goes 4,000 feet up, 3,000 feet up, 3,000 feet up. It was, I was grinning ear to ear the entire drive. This place, I can remember this place. I've been to this place. I have stories about this place. I have feelings about this place. I know the views. I know the feeling. It was just like I was home again. And I've never been here before. You know, it was overwhelming. I was so excited. It was just wow. You know, amazing. So let's continue on a little bit of the history. That was my experience coming up over here. Um, a few centuries after Mo'okini was built, was there was a man that sailed from Kahiki. I believe Kahiki in this sense. Kahiki the Hawaiians use as the motherland or back home, but Kahiki could be interpreted as Tahiti, right? Although it's not Tahiti always. But I believe I had read that this man named Pa'a, who was 13, 14, maybe 15 generations before Kamehameha, and that time, he came from Aotearoa, New Zealand. And there were stories of him setting sail to a new place. So he, from what I read and how I understand how it was written, and I do acknowledge that it's only written and passed down according to the people who had seen, he wasn't a very kind, patient kahuna. Or maybe he was even ali'i. Yeah. Can you guys see me? Can you guys hear me all right? Can you guys hear me okay? Yes, I see somebody in chat says it's frozen really bad. Let me know if you guys can see. Oh. Let me get my Starlink out. It might lag a minute. And boy, do I have a story to share with you guys. I'll tell you that. One of my favorite all-time stories I've been saving, especially for tonight. Okay, I'm good. So everything is passed on word of mouth. I've read an account where he was Maori, where he was from New Zealand. I read an account where they think he was from Tahiti, where, you know, but there was a story of him, one of the stories I can recall of him leaving. He set sail with his crew, and he had a lot of, I guess you can call them acolytes, for lack of a better word. He had people that he had trained and people that wanted to be like him, and, you know, that kind of stuff. And so he had set sail already, leaving the coast, leaving the island, leaving the beach. And as he did that, some of his students wanted to come on the voyage, and they begged him. And so he told them, you can come on the voyage only if you climb up that cliff and you jump off of the cliff. And if you fly to my canoe, then you can come with me. And so many of his own students climbed up the cliff and jumped off of the cliff with blind faith, and they were dashed to on the rocks below to their make. They went make. So Pa'ao, or in some cases I've read his name as Pa'ahau, he came to he came over here. He came to the Big Island, and he was appalled. See, the Big Island was under one God, Eo, peace, prosperity. He came here and he was appalled and disgusted at the lack of separation that the elite had with the Maka'inana, that the commoners and the kings would walk together and talk together. He was appalled at all of this stuff. He didn't like it. It was pilau, it was dirty, it was desecration. And so he instilled the kapu system. The kapu system was a system of laws and rules where if you broke it, you are dead. Simple as that. He introduced the four major Hawaiian gods, Ku, Kane, Lono, Kanaloa, and Lono. Ku, Kane, Lono, and Kanaloa. Those four major Hawaiian gods, and they switched to worship. He also brought over something which I would say changed Hawaii forever. He brought over the practice of human sacrifice, or luakini. I'm glad I'm not monetized yet, because there's probably going to be a lot of demonetization for tonight. Human sacrifice isn't Hollywood style where you throw the virgin into the volcano. Human sacrifice, or luakini, as it's called in Hawaiian, is male only, and it would happen at this location. In fact, this is the very first place that was used for human sacrifice over a millennia ago. This was Kamehameha's Heiau. This is the area that he lived, that he had control over. In fact, right down the road, which we may visit tonight, is Kamehameha's birth site. So that's why I figured that this place would be one of the best places to come and to share these stories about the god of war, Ku, or Kukailimoku. I can imagine just looking at the night sky. I read the page, and I suggest you guys look at the page as well. Mo'okini has a community page, a website that explains the legends, explains the history, all of that as well, right? I was reading the website, and who knows the mo'olelo, who knows the stories better than the caretaker, right? The caretaker of this place. And she had explained that, wait, chotomate, hold on. She had explained that, oh, really? I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just lost. I'm trying to get on my tablet. She explained that Kamehameha's birth happened here, not on the land, but in the sea. He was birthed in a canoe off the shore over here. And as he was born into this world, Halley's Comet appeared over the night sky, signaling this fantastic, very powerful prophecy that King Kamehameha would be the one to unite all of the islands. As soon as they came back to shore, Kamehameha was then taken away, and he was hidden, because the chief had already known and seen the fire in the sky, as they called it, Halley's Comet, and knew that there would be a potential chief born under that. And of course, they would seek him out it was believed, to kill him. Yeah. Is YouTube still on? Because I can't see anything on YouTube. Unless you guys are not. I don't even know what this is. Okay, I'm not even seeing any chat. Maybe you guys just listening to me. Hey, Phoebe, how's it? Okay, perfect. Sometimes I don't know if I'm talking for the next half an hour and I'm frozen and nobody hearing a word, you know? Oh man, this place is just amazing. Oh my goodness. Phoebe, I started at 6 o'clock half an hour ago. You missed me struggling to walk up here, and that's about it. I wonder if there's a way that I could turn down the YouTube. Pine Kona. Aloha. So yeah, let me try something over here. We're gonna see if we can take a walk. The wind up here is not too bad, yeah? You guys can hear me? We got my headlamp. We need a flashlight. Oh my goodness. So we get this beautiful sunset on one side, and then I go take you guys and flip you around. And we got the super moon on this side. You can also hear the wind. It's not very windy right now. You know, it's going to be even less windy in there, so I'm going to just go. Yo, aloha. Thanks for the feedback too, Moonraker. Joy, how's it? This, by the way, guys, this is me living my dream. Okay, this is me. I am so stinking happy right now. You have no idea. Yeah. This is just making me, yeah. I wish I could do this more often. To me, it is such an honor. It is such an honor to be at this location. Joy, this is Mo'okini Heiau. Okay. Ikalamai, I don't mean disrespect with the light. Please pardon. Uh-oh. We have this, we have that, we have this. No. Alright, we're doing this then. We're going back to carrying my thing on my head. Wow, look at that sky. It doesn't look like that in real life, I'll tell you. Just that, look at that view. Oh my goodness. Oh my gosh. Aloha kupuna, ha'ole pilikia, mahalo. Dear Lord, please watch over me on this night. Keep me safe. Guide me as well. So that rock wall is over 20 feet tall. I'm gonna walk on the path the right way. Oh, I like this island 100 times better than Maui. 100,000 times better than Maui. The energy is calm. It seems really quiet. Ouch. I should not have gone barefoot, but I will. And these rock walls are about 5 to 10 feet thick. If you can imagine how the rocks here are fitted together perfectly, it's such an amazing art. Like I was telling the other night, how the kahuna would come by and they would place them together, and the rock would tell them how it wants to be, how they want to face, how they want to go up or down. See, this is a fantastic example of that. Let me know if the reception is cutting out, because now I don't have trees, I have rock walls around me. Pretty sure the satellites don't work around rocks. Look at this. This part is still completely intact. And I come up to, if I were to stand there, I'm 6 feet tall, I'd come up to this rock right here, and right in the middle of the camera, the reddish rock. That's about as tall as the top of my head would come to. So, and there's the red of the sunset. Oh my gosh. This is just, you feel the mana surrounded by not just the mana, but surrounded by nature, completely desolated, away from mostly everything over here. No phone reception, zero. Oh man, the feeling is unmatched. Yeah, I'm gonna make my way around. You guys, when it's there, the sun already set. I'm sorry, we missed the green flash, but that's not why I'm here. It's such a beautiful feeling. I kind of don't want to bring up the events that happened over here and talk about that stuff. We'll see if the night progresses. Okay, and there's no path. This is just the other end of the Heiau. Hold on, Joy, I show you. Oh, wrong one. Ooh. Let's put you down. How about that? Here's the Starlink. Hold on. Up. Put you guys down. Turn the light on. There you go. Now you guys can see the beautiful view of me. I need to get a hat that has a Starlink attachment. That would be great. The dish has to face up, yeah? Up to the stars. Up to the satellite. So I stay walking around the whole place like this with my 5-pound bag on top, maybe more, on top of my head, trying to keep it steady and keep it straight up. You gotta do what you gotta do, right? Oh yeah, sorry, you guys are gonna see me for a little while. Yeah, now you can see me and the sunset. There we go. And now I can see where I'm walking. Well, we're gonna go make our way back out so I can sit down. Just to think, this dirt that my feet is touching People walked on it 1,000 years ago. My ancestors walked on the same dirt. That rock I just stubbed my toe on, my ancestors stepped on that rock 1,000 years ago. Kamehameha the Great himself visited here very often. Oh, sorry, now you guys can see the moon. You know what? I'm not doing anything. My hands are full. Bro, I need one small wagon. Bro, someone should just invent one hoverboard. Because while all these rocks, there's no way one wagon is coming around with me. Here we go. See, owie, 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 owie. So last year I came here with my son. We were standing right here in the doorway, and the wind, and there was no wind. And I asked if we should enter, if we had permission, and then the wind picked up and blew us inside. That was a nice sign. There you go. One hand down, one to go. There we go. Keep the electromagnetic radiation away from my head. I thought I was Starlink. I don't need this light anymore. There, now you can see the top of my head. Is that good? There we go, much better. My son was feeling under the weather tonight. He ate something, I think he ate something yesterday at my uncle's house and had an allergic reaction. So that's the reason why we didn't go to Mauna Kea today. Because that's a place I'm not going to by myself because of the elevation sickness. Yeah, there's too much that can go wrong. So I just decided to not go. So the god of war over here. Oh man, my backpack is 6 feet away. Oh, too far. I tried to generate pictures. Actually, I did, and I put a little video on the webpage. AI is amazing. So this is the picture I ended up getting. Tried to recreate as close as I could to this location. See, with the red representing the blood, you got the tiki or the ki'i, Kukailimoku or ku in the background. Baker, no. No, it's not. Here's the other ki'i at Bishop Museum of the Hawaiian god. Ku, that's Ku though. And it's my belief that Ku is way different. I mean, I went through a lot of different pictures, yeah. I don't know, YouTube is so good, but it's not. AI generated, yeah. Here is Bishop Museum. This image is at Bishop Museum. This is specifically Kukailimoku. Yeah. That amazing AI rendering took me over an hour to tweak things and just basically imagine painting by describing in words. Yeah. So this is Kukailimoku, and one of the pictures I liked the most that just gave me chicken skin was this one over here by Herb Kane. It's actually, this is zoomed in, the canoe battle. Here's my ancestor, Heva Nui, holding up the image of Ku over his head to strike terror into the heart of his enemies. Yeah. Kukailimoku, there's just many things. He Hawaii, you give the Hawaiian gods ho'okupu offerings, whether it's a flower, a lei. Hey, that one girl from you know where. Oops, my bad. I put my Oops, my bad. I put my tablet on top of the Starlink. Oops, the tablet doesn't go on the Starlink. That blocks the stars. Hey, how's it? Let me show you guys a little bit more of the ending of the sunset. YouTube, we back? Turn this off. The sun is just going down. Okay, we're back again. So that's the one they use in Chief of War, the museum one you show as God of War. Yep. Okay, we're back. Cool. And the sun is just going down as the moon is rising. Wow. See, this is just amazing. I'm sorry, guys. This is just so dang cool. I'm never gonna forget this day. You got the moon setting as you got the super moon. You got the sun setting as the super moon is rising. As I'm at this one place over here for the first time in my life with internet, so I can tell you guys a story. At here, this is just like I'm like a little kid in a candy store over here tonight. It's just that awesome. Harvest moon too, yeah. So where Lono was the god of peace, the god of fertility, the god of the harvest, he would have a mapele heiau where you would grow food, you would grow crops, you would have water, healing, for all of that stuff. That was his aspects, fertility. Then there was Kane, who's the fresh water and life, because fresh water is life. Kane is the god of life. Some people argue the main of the four. Then there was Kanaloa, the god of the deep ocean or salt water, the squid, yeah, the god of sorcery and many other aspects to himself, right? Kanaloa is the god of the sea, yeah. He was on the live last October. He was eating a ho'okupu that he had requested and that I went ahead and gave. That was really, really cool. I told this same story I'm going to tell you guys. I told this story last year down at Judd in the pitch black by myself with an offering and some ava. Oh my God, that scared me. I got a fan club thing pop up on my head. Yeah, this place feels old. This place feels old. Wow. I'm sorry, if you can imagine just sitting around and seeing a panoramic view of just sky with we were just at Mauna Kea 3 weeks ago at the summit. We took our boys to see it and feel the ground. Their ohana is on protecting. Yes, their ohana is protecting. My kai. Okay. Good night, Joy. Tell Corey hi too. I missed you guys. Hope you guys are doing good up there in Vegas. I would so be on the waves right now. Don't worry. We had the waves last night. We're right at the ocean. So yeah, this God wouldn't ask for any of those offerings. This God would ask for human sacrifice. He would want the blood. He would want males, men, not the kind throw the female in the volcano, the virgin. No, you had to be a man, and that's how only men were sacrificed, because Ku was the male god. Ku was the male incarnation of everything. Anything that had to do with male was Ku's kuleana, his area. Ku is the top. Ku is the all-encompassing, right? Everything under him, there are different versions of Ku, how I understand it. There is Ku Ula. Ku'ula is the fishing. There was another Ku something that was the canoe making god. There was, there were hundreds, if not thousands, of different versions of Ku. Kukailimoku is one of them. He was a terrifying god of war. That picture that I showed you has red feathers, dog teeth, seashell eyes. This one over here, little dog teeth in him, that kind of stuff in the mouth. And he was the one that was bloodthirsty. He was the one that is male. I've taken my sister, I've taken my daughter, I've taken people to visit Heiaus and temples that at one time were him, were at one time they had worshipped him. And just because they were female, they weren't able to get out the car. You know, yeah, yeah. Ku is different than Kukailimoku, and I'm gonna tell you guys a couple stories tonight. One I usually share later in the month, but I'm gonna tell to you guys this one um, tonight if the thing lasts. Maybe I will over at the Kamehamehas. There's a light down there, bro. I really hope I don't see night marchers tonight. I'd say that as I see an orange light, maybe about 300 yards away. I'm hearing something. Hey, Kalamai, the reason why my back is to the Heiau is so that the people can see the moon as I tell the story. Sorry, that one girl from nowhere. Jamie. Thank you, yeah. Mm. Is the wind too loud? Are you guys good? Oh, I'm just. This is my first destination, but this might be my last one. I might have to take a break and redo it again because I'm gonna have to get in the car, and I don't think the Starlink is gonna work, and that's gonna be kind of a pain in the okole. Kuka Ohia Laka. Yep, that's the canoe building. Thank you. Thank you. That's the one. Yeah. Sorry. So, yeah. Then you got planes. That's fine. I'm so distracted right now. The energy is picking up. It's not. This big island has different energy. Oh my goodness. Oh my gosh. It's a different kind of strong energy. It's a different, it's not as intense, but it's more powerful, if that makes sense. Wow. My heart is racing right now. I can feel it. Okay, so the first story I wanted to share. Yeah. The first story I wanted to share, this happened to me in 2008. My days and my years kind of blow by. I don't remember very often. I remember what happened sometimes, but very rarely will I remember what happened and the day that it happened, right? But this was 2008. This was June 10th. Actually, here's a little secret. I knew it was June 10th because that was my sister's birthday. Yeah, it was Tuesday, June 10th. Let's put a green screen up and block the view. Green screen. There's no more green screen over here. Green screen would be so much easier. Yeah, that's very good. Thank you guys. That's awesome. The original Kingdom of Hawaii energy. That's what I'm feeling. Maybe because our big island is newer than all the rest. Yeah, it's just cool. Hey, Jordan, how's it? Bokai Bay Heiau is one of my favorites, but the Heiau and Kona has some crazy feelings too. Oh yeah, I wanted to go there today, but I didn't really have enough time because I have to do family time too. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it's fine. So I'm sorry. I'm getting distracted. I'm not gonna read the chat for a little bit. I'm gonna look down and I'm gonna look through and I'm gonna look away and stuff. So this story I'm gonna tell you guys is gonna be on Spooked this month, right? Spooked podcast, a much longer version. We recorded for 2 hours in a recording studio. He really liked the story because it has a much deeper meaning. Yeah. So, Tuesday, June 10th, 2008, we had done the tour. I was with Uncle Joe, Uncle Joe Espinda, one of the other tour guides that was training me at the time. And, so we get out and we get out at the last stop of the night, and this is in Manoa Valley at Paradise Park, all the way in the back of Manoa Valley. And we get out of the car, we walk maybe 20 yards in, 30 yards in, and we get out, we just tell stories over there, ghost stories, that kind of stuff, right? But as we started walking by that night, it felt different. Now, I had started in March, April or May. I believe it was middle of April, ending of April, maybe early May. I had just started, so I'm still kind of learning how the places feel, right? And it felt to me like there was a man on the trail that we're walking down, standing right under that tree, the same tree I showed you guys last night, right? With the face of the lady inside, Hina, or Hiaka Ikapoli Pele. He was standing under that tree. There was this man. And so keep in mind, I know nothing about this and about that. I am 28 years old. And so we get over there, and I'm just kind of slowed down, and I stop, and here's a lady behind me, an Australian lady, and she was a psychic, a medium. She had come on the tour. And she tells us, okay, there's a guy over there. And I'm like, yeah. Me and Uncle Joe are like, yeah, we could feel him. It's like there's this guy standing right under the tree, just looking at us, waiting for us, almost like a spirit or a ghost. And I'm like, okay, I feel that too. I feel that there's a guy and he's watching us. And she's like, yeah. And then she looks down towards where he is, and she looks back at us, and she says, he's asking you, why do you guys come back here all the time? He wants to know why you seek him out. And I tell her, no, we're not seeking anybody out. We come here to tell stories. We come here to share stories and to enjoy, but we're not seeking anybody out. And she looks back down the trail like she's listening, turns back to us. He said, it's okay. He said, if you're seeking him out for favors, you need to follow protocol. Protocol was something Uncle Joe was teaching me, and I just learned, so that was fresh in my memory. Ho'okupu offering. Some spirits like different kinds of offerings. Some spirits like different kinds of ho'okupu. They like certain kind of fish, certain kind of fruit, that kind of stuff, right? So I'm like, okay, there's a spirit standing over there on the trail in Manoa Falls. We're all under these trees. It's dark, right? And I'm asking, and I'm like, okay, so what kind of an offering does he want? What kind of protocol should we follow? She's like, you need to bring him an offering. I'm like, what does he want? Does he want fish? Does he want poi? What does he want? Does he want, bananas? Does he want, And she looks down, like she's listening to him, and she looks back, and like her face is like a little more drained of blood, and she said, he is asking for human blood. And I'm like, what? Me and Uncle Joe, at the same moment, we turn, we look at each other, and we look back at her and down the trail. And we're like, no, 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 no. What's the matter with you? What? Human blood? Nobody does that. What are you talking about? Human blood? It's like, brah, that was a long time ago, old Hawaiian days. We don't do that no more. What's the matter with you? And in my mind is still kind of racing, but my mind is always inquisitive and curious. And so in my mind, I'm thinking to myself, wondering, just curious, what will happen if I bring a chicken and sacrifice a chicken to this guy? Would it have the same effect? But then that whole thought came in and left my mind in a split second. And I'm like, that's so stupid. What the hell's wrong with you? You're not going to do that. Quit acting stupid. Quit thinking stupid. And so, I just pushed the thought out of my head. The lady turns around, looks at me, and starts laughing. And she's like, I'm like, what? She says, oh, he's looking at you and he's laughing right now. And I'm like, really? Why? She looks back down the trail, looks at me. She's like, he's telling me he doesn't want a chicken. And I'm like, I kind of freeze. And she's like, what made him say that? That's what she asked me. I'm like, I don't know. She's like, he thinks it's hilarious. He says he doesn't want a chicken. And she looked at me. She's like, were you just thinking that? I'm like, okay, yeah, but it's not real. I wasn't gonna do it. You know what I mean? It's just something that popped into my mind, and I ain't gonna do it. And I'm thinking to myself, what the heck? This thing over here can read my mind. This thing knows what I'm thinking, right? And I'm like, oh boy, like no, we're not gonna do the chicken thing. And we and we continue. Like now, I'm inquisitive, and I'm asking questions. I'm like, okay, who is that man back there? Is he an old Hawaiian warrior? Is he a kahuna? Is he a hiker that died back here? Who is this Hawaiian man back over here? And why does he want an offering? So we're trying to talk and asking questions, and I guess he gets tired, and so he doesn't. He starts. The best way to describe it is he starts fading away. Like I could feel him there, and then he started just fading away into the distance. He was getting bored, and I asked the lady, "Is this a man that died back here?" And she says, "No, but this is a man." She's like, "No," she said, "No, but this isn't a man. This is a male." And I'm like, "Isn't that the same kind of thing?" She's like, "No, no, no. This has very male energy, but this is not a man." She says, she looks at me and she's like, "I think this is a god." She said she has never felt that amount, much powerful male energy in her entire life. And when she said that it's a god, that's kind of when everything started to click. He wanted offerings, that people would seek him out, give him offerings of human blood for his favor, for his power, for his strength. I look at Uncle Joe and I'm like, you know who this is? Uncle Joe's like, who's this? I'm like, Uncle Joe, this is Kukailimoku. This is the god of war. Uncle Joe looked at me and his eyes went wide and he's like, no way. And then I'm standing right on the cliff, right at the edge of a little drop that's maybe about, I don't know, it's far down. I would get really hurt if I fell down there. And there's a river down there. Um, as I said, I have a really bad distance thing. I'd say 50 feet, but I don't know. Maybe about a good 20 or 30 yards. Put it that way. I feel something grab my arm, my upper arm. I feel a hand wrap around my arm and start pulling me towards the cliff. Scared stiff is the word that comes to mind. You are so scared you can't move. You are so scared you can't make a noise, you can't say anything. I felt this powerful hand wrap itself across my bicep and start to pull me towards the ravine. And I'm frozen over there, and I'm like trying to snap out of it, and my eyes go to Uncle Joe, and I'm like, Uncle Joe, Uncle Joe, Uncle Joe. And he sees me falling off the cliff, falling towards the ravine, and he grabs me and starts pulling me back, and something starts pulling me closer to the cliff. People in the group grab Uncle Joe, grab me, and they're all pulling me back onto the trail. It's like a tug of war, and I'm just over there, just completely terrified with nothing. I can't even move. And finally, whatever was on my arm lets go, and we all fall onto the trail. All of us, we fall onto the trail. Everyone that was pulling. I remember looking up, and Uncle Joe was getting up, and everyone was getting up, and Uncle Joe just looked at us, and he's like, "What are you guys doing? Run!" And we all ran back to the vans, and we booked it out of there so fast. We jumped into the 14 passenger vans, and for somehow, I still don't know how I did this, I could drive. Driving is more of an automatic mode. So I'm in the van, everybody gets in, and we dig out so fast, and we're driving and we're driving and we're driving. And I'm over there, and I remember, I don't even know what I was saying. I was cracking jokes. I was trying to make the atmosphere different, to change it, because it was so heavy. It felt to me like this guy was still in the van with me. I turned on the AC. It was hot in the van. The AC was cold, but it was hot in the van. I opened up the windows. Cold air coming in. It was still hot in the van. I looked in the back. I could see the windows fogging up in the back of the van. Everybody was just tense, uncomfortable. Nobody would say anything. We're all riding back into Waikiki. Usually I would go to the Ala Moana Hotel, drop everybody off there, whoever stayed over there, whoever I picked up over there. Then I go into Waikiki, take people to their own hotel. I get to the Ala Moana Hotel, everybody jumps out of the van. I'm like, I can take you guys to your hotel, don't worry about it. And they're like, no, 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 we'll catch a cab, it's fine, don't worry about it. And then they run. The lady who's a psychic, she jumps out and tries to run with her friend, and I end up grabbing her by her arm, and I'm telling her, Auntie, what am I supposed to do over here? What's going on? What is this? And she's like, what? You can't tell. He's following you. I'm like, yeah, I thought so. What am I supposed to do about it? She's like, I don't know. This is your job, not mine. You got to deal with it. Boom, pulls her arm out and runs. I call up Uncle Joe as I'm driving home. Uncle Joe, you a kahuna, Uncle Joe. You got to help me. You got to help me. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. This is on the next tell, the walkie-talkie thing. Yeah, then I wait a little bit, couple seconds go by. Hey Joe, sorry, what you get on top you too powerful. I cannot get him. I cannot get rid of him for you. Sorry, sorry. And then click, and I'm like, great. I'm in this by myself. I'm driving in the car, and I can feel the heat is still in the car. The heat is coalescing around the back of my neck, right around here, the back of my head. It was hot. It was heavy, and Uncle Joe calls me back. You should go beach. Go jump in the water. Make everything better. I ain't going to no beach. I'm driving home. I jump onto the driving up the road, up Kapahulu, going to the freeway. I live Kaneohe, yeah? So I gotta go other side of the island. And I'm so scared. My windows are open in my van. I got my tea leaf out. I'm waving my tea leaf around as I'm yelling at the top of my lungs to ho'i, to leave. I'm throwing salt around the van. I'm doing everything I was ever taught. Salt, tea leaf, yelling at them. He was laughing at me. He was behind me and he was laughing at me. He was getting a kick out of this. I'm on the freeway now and I'm driving, and this guy is still in my car, and I'm terrified, and I'm still doing the same thing. What scared me a lot was the fact that everything I did not work. Everything I had learned, everything that had worked for me before no longer worked. You guys heard that? Oh, how's it? I heard a guy and then I heard a flute. Let me finish the story. Yeah, like a flute, like a whistle. I was driving, and then I was passing the Bishop Museum, I remember, and the thought occurred to me right before the Bishop Museum. Um, right before the Bishop Museum, the thought occurred to me, wait, you're Catholic, why don't you pray? And I kind of laughed because it's always the last resort prayer, yeah? Prayer's always the last resort. So I started to pray. I said the Our Father. And as I said the Our Father, it left. As I said amen, all the heat got sucked out of the passenger window in the van, and this was in the cutoff on the Like Lane in front of Bishop Museum now. All the heat gets sucked right out, and I let out a sigh of relief. And just as I let out that sigh, something, as it's leaving the van, it hits the back of my van so hard, I start fishtailing in the lane. I'm fishtailing in this big 14-passenger van, and I'm just like, okay, boom, terrified again, automatic mode, driving. I drive up the Like, all the lights were off, of course. By the time I got control of my body again, I was in the pitch black, and I'm like, there ain't no way I'm stopping now. There's no way I'm stopping now, And so I keep driving. I call on my brother. I call on my dad. There's a person, they'll see the light. Yeah. I call on my brother, call on my dad. I tell him, hey guys, wake up. Do me a favor. I can't come home tonight. You guys gotta come with me. We gotta go bar or something. You gotta come home. You gotta come with me. I cannot come home. Something might be following me home, and I don't want to bring it home. And so we go to Komomai's in Kaneohe by where Times is. Komomai's used to be, and we go have a few drinks. We go have a few drinks over there, and I tell my dad what happened, and I'm asking my dad what the hell is going on. Tell me what kind of Hawaiian we are, yeah. Um, Chotomate, hold on. And I asked him, what kind of Hawaiian are we? Because my grandparents will never tell us what kind of Hawaiian family, what kind of Hawaiian blood we come from. He didn't know either. And here, let me show you guys this. My arm that got grabbed, I find it interesting that I have a tattoo. Oop, I can't even really see it. Huh? There you go. I have a tattoo on my arm. The tattoo is a petroglyph of my last name, which is Puno. It's on this island. It's on the big island. It's on the lava field. It's a petroglyph of Punohu. So I thought I'd get it, right? And that petroglyph, that tattoo was burning even at the bar. My dad, it was burning to the touch. He touched it, and it was hot. And he'd put an ice cold beer on it for like a minute or two, and then touch it again, and it would burn. And it wasn't burning me, but it burned him when he was touching it. And we stayed there till they closed at 4. And then I stayed up till 5, and the sun came up, and I called my boss in Florida, and I told my boss, I'm like, hey, listen, Chris, I don't know if I can get through this job. And he was freaking out because it's really hard to find a tour guide that will do this, because people are superstitious and afraid of ghosts. He's like, no, 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 Joe, come on, come on. I'm like, nah, Chris, I can deal with ghosts, but I cannot deal with gods. I never even know they was real. And he's like, okay, I'll tell you what, I'll give you a few days off. I need you to think about it. Um, I want you to give some thought. He's like, Joe, remember this, okay? If you want to quit, you can quit. But you got to remember that if you quit, that doesn't mean that they're going to stop harassing you. That means that they won. If you quit walking away, that doesn't mean that they're going to stop doing what they do, right? And so I thought about it for a little while, a few days. It all kind of started to make sense. I mean, Madame Pele is real, right? We have stories of Madame Pele. I have stories of encounters with Kaupe, the half man, half dog. Kamapua, people have had encounters with him. So who's to say that they're real and all the other Hawaiian gods and goddesses are not, right? That's the thought that really made my brain spin for a little bit. It was just, I took a few days off, and then my boss calls me up on Friday and tells me there's a sold out tour. Robert's out of town. Uncle Joe's out of town, and he wanted to know if I can do the tour. If not, he got to cancel a sold out tour. It was Friday the 13th. I'm like, gee, thanks, Chris. You want me to come back on Friday the 13th? And he's like, yeah, you can if you can, come back, but if you cannot, that's fine. I'll just cancel everybody. He's like, I'll tell you what though, if you do it, I'll hire my friend. She's a kahuna. She's a Hawaiian priestess. She can help you with your problem. I tell him that's very generous of him. And so I say, okay, I'll do it. And I meet this kahuna as we pick up the people. And she was a very nice older lady. And she was a kahuna. And I'm like, okay, I feel good. We did the tour throughout the night. It was kind of weird because I found out later she's a kahuna of love. She marries people. That's her kuleana. That's her purpose. And so we're over there talking about a girl that had gotten murdered, telling her story. People are getting scared. And here's Auntie over here, the kahuna. Like, oh, no worry. Auntie love you. Come give Auntie a hug. I'm hearing voices. Like, don't worry. Auntie love you. But I'm like, I'm trying to tell a scary story. And she's over there like, it's okay. Come give Auntie a hug. And I'm like, kind of ruining the mood, Auntie, But that's what she did. I didn't know she was a kahuna of love till later. And right at that spot on the Kaneohe Morgan's corner, I go to tell the story. The same place that we would always go, same place I would stand, was the same exact place I went to stand. There was a dead chicken, a dead rooster, right where I would stand. I saw that, and I'm like, oh, somebody get one sense of humor. Somebody get one sense of humor. And I looked over the chicken. I poked it with a stick. It didn't die. It didn't get killed. It just ran over there and dropped dead. And I'm like, bruh, what the heck? You know, a few months later, there was at Paradise Park where everything happened, right where he was standing, where I could feel his mana. There was a dead chicken over there too, just dropped dead. And I'm like, what the heck? This guy, this guy's funny. I think he's being funny. We continue the tour and we get to Paradise Park, and she didn't know what had happened. She knew that something happened, but she didn't know what had happened. So she's like, okay, so Chris told me something happened with somebody back over here. Let me go deal with it. And she goes walking past the gate by herself in the dark, no flashlight, no more even slippers, I think. All right. She go walking over there, this small little fragile, frail, old Hawaiian lady. And I'm like, what did I just do? Is she gonna come back? Thank you. Thank you for all the stuff, you guys. Mahalo. The coconut. Like, is she gonna come back? I gave her 5 minutes, nothing. I gave her 10 minutes, nothing. Meanwhile, I'm telling stories to the group right next to the van because I ain't going in there. And then I'm about to go and look for her with my flashlight because I'm like, somebody got to do it, right? And as I'm right about to walk over there, thank you. She comes up. She comes walking up towards up the trail towards me. I'm like, okay, Auntie, you good? Auntie wasn't good. Auntie was mad. She looks at me. Man, keep in mind, I didn't tell her what happened. I didn't tell her anything. I didn't tell her who, what, why, when, where. But all she knew was that something happened. She looks at me and she's like, Joe, what the hell did you do back here? And I looked at her and I'm like, what are you talking about? What did I do back here? She's like, can you tell me why Kukailimoku is back here and why he's mad at you? And I'm like, oh boy, I don't know, Auntie. I don't know why he's mad at me, but that was the guy that came across. And she's like, why is he mad at you? I'm like, I don't know why he's mad at me. She's like, he told me that you forsook him, that you stopped worshiping him. And I'm like, Auntie, I never know he was real till Tuesday. Give me a break. And she's like, oh, she starts calming down. She's like, okay, okay, okay. Maybe in a past life or something. Or, get all mystical like the Kahunas do, right? Maybe it was in a past life and all of that stuff. And then all of a sudden she starts going like, and her arms start doing like this. And she's like, I'm getting a sign. I'm getting a message. And I'm like, looking at her like, what's going on? I'm kind of skeptical, I'm like, what's going on? And she's looking at me. She's like, what does this mean to you? I'm like, I have literally no idea what this means to me. It means nothing to me. I'm thinking that. I'm like, I don't know, Auntie. And she's like, oh. And then she grabs my hand and she holds it next to her hand, my right hand next to her right hand. Her right finger was bent. Her right pinky was bent. And so's mine. Maybe not that much, but like if you look at it like that, wait, there you go. This isn't normal. My right pinky broke when I was a little kid. It's crooked. It broke. Her finger was exactly the same way. And she's like, that's where it's sore. My finger is sore. My finger is sore. What is that? And she's like, look, same as yours, same as yours. And I'm like, okay. She's like, she looks at it. She's like, oh, that's why. Look, the fingers are the same. And I'm like, okay, where are you going with this? And she's like, your family used to break bones. I'm like, no. She's like, yeah, look, your bone got broken. Your family used to break bones. I'm like, no, Auntie, I injured myself when I was little. And I caught a baseball without a glove. And that's how the bone broke like that. And I fixed it. She's like, no, it's a curse. And I'm like, no, Auntie, it's not a curse. It's a sports injury. She's like, no, it's a curse. Faye, how's it? No, it's not a curse. I'm like, so she looked at me and smiled. Okay, how about your father? How did he get his? If I remember correctly, I think my dad was basketball. My cousin was football. And she goes down like that. She's like, all the men, most of the men in your family get the same finger, same hand. Broken the same finger. And I'm like, yeah. And she's like, because it's a curse. Passed down only the male members of your family. Your family used to break bones. I told her, well, as far as we know, we were told we were the kawa. We were the lower people, the lower class kind of, yeah. the untouchables, the undesirables, the ones that had dirty mana kind of thing. And she's like, oh, okay, okay, maybe then your family's bones were broken, and that's what I'm getting. Yeah. Hey, Faye, you'll never guess where I'm at. No, sorry, like my friend Faye jumped up over here. She's like, and so she's like, okay, maybe in a past life, blah blah blah. She makes all pono. She makes everything good for me, everything good, and I can continue to do the tours. This was in June, right? And after June, in that summer of 2008, Bishop Museum called us because they found my great grandpa's cane that was cursed, and so my great grandma had sent it to Bishop Museum because it started a fire. He would speak to it after he died. It would knock on the closet. It started a fire in the closet and all of that stuff. And yeah, so she sent it there, and they were bringing it out of storage to show it, and wanted to know if the family wanted to see it. So we're like, of course. Well, that sparks a little genealogy, right? Our family starts looking up the genealogy of where we come from and all of that, and we found out that the bloodline that we descend from, that was hidden from us, was, if initially we traced it back to a man named Heva Heva Nui, and secondly, after that, we traced it back to a man named Kamehameha. So, like every other Hawaiian that's alive, I come from King Kamehameha. I'm just kidding. We have the paperwork, we have the genealogy, we have the records. We come from King Kamehameha and Heva Heva Nui. So these Heva Heva Nui was Kamehameha the Great's Kahuna Nui, his high priest. These were the only two men who were in charge of worshiping Kukailimoku. These were the only two men that would perform human sacrifice here where we're sitting, among other places in Hawaii. But yeah, these were the two people. These are my family members. This is my lineage. And so when he saw me, he thought he thought he had seen Kamehameha or Heva Heva. How many kids did that man have? He was a king. But yeah, I'm gonna put my shoes on and start walking a little bit more. But yeah, that was my story over there. What happened, and like I'm gonna go to the other side of the Heiau and put on my shoes, go to the other side, and then share another story as well with you guys. Give me 1 second. I'm wondering more about the safety of my car, because if that was an actual guy, I'm parked here by myself in the middle of nowhere. Yeah, I hope nobody messes with the car. Thank you for the follows. You see why this is such a special thing for me to be here at Mo'okini or Kuamo'o, the first heiau for human sacrifice, the first heiau, or one of the oldest heiaus ever recorded to be built centuries before human sacrifice was brought here. This is a place where my ancestors would worship. Unfortunately, probably the wrong kind of worship. I do like how things are changing, though. I will tell another story. As I shared before, Papa Ena Heiau, last night when I was talking about night marchers, was a school. Now, how I see it was Kamehameha won the wars. He won the battle, right? And because he won the war and he defeated and he won Oahu and he won Maui and he won all of these islands, he was the victor, but he still had to pay for it. The price has still yet to be collected. He had to pay homage to his god. You see, when his uncle, over here Kamehameha was born too. His uncle, I'm gonna get the names wrong, I know it. Alapa'i Nui. I always get the names mixed up. Alapa'i Nui, I think, was Kamehameha's uncle. Let me see real fast. There's so many names, and it depends. I've read different renditions of everything. Yeah. Alapa'i Nui. Alapa'i Nui was Ali'i Nui. No, he was a usurper to the throne. That wasn't the one. Kalani Kauleleaiva Alapa'i. The chief of Oahu that had accepted Kamehameha as a young person. When he had died, he gave his son the Ali'i. He gave his son the control of the Big Island. Everything that belonged to him, except for the district Kamehameha was from, belonged to his son. To Kamehameha, he gave one thing, the god of war. That is Hawaiian drama at its finest, okay? It's like, I'm going to give my son the kingdom, and then I'm going to give my nephew the tools to overthrow my son. What good is having the kingdom of Hawaii and being a king of the island if your cousin has the power to overthrow you? I'm sure there was other reasons too, but let's go to the other side now. Mahalo akua. Oh, soda. Mahalo kupuna. Mahalo ancestors. Kamehameha. Heva nui. Aloha. It is an honor and a pleasure to be here near the entrance to the Heiau. Thank you for the blessing. Thank you for allowing me to be here. Thank you for the privilege. Makes sense though. They did a DNA test 15 years ago. 90% of all Mongolians carry the DNA of Genghis Khan. Yes, to the victors go the spoils. So if you guys had any questions while I was telling the story, feel free to ask them. I'm looking at the chat again. Wow, look at that. Wow, my story took a long time to tell you. The moon rose and everything while I was telling that story. This is such an amazing place. But I do wonder, it's a long walk, yeah? Somebody walked all the way up to see if I was okay because they saw a car parked at the end of it. So, mo'o, I've used that word many times. Mo'o, as in mo'okini. Mo'o is a lizard. Now you think of a gecko, you think of a lizard. The tail, the tip of the tail, from the tip of the tail to the top of the head is its spine. It's all one line from the tip of the tail to the top of the head. So, mo'opuna, hey, correct me if I'm wrong. I know you're still here, Sean. I don't really know much Hawaiian. Mo'opuna, I think, is genealogy. Mo'olelo is stories. So, that has to do with mo'o. I learned that mo'olelo means stories. Mo'o is a lizard. Olelo is the spoken word. So, like the lizard, each word connects and connects and connects and connects to each other to form a story. Each olelo, each Hawaiian word connects to form the entire part of the story. Yeah, that's kind of how I heard. No, I did not go up Mauna Kea yet, yeah. I missed the reason he was upset that you forsook him. I didn't. My ancestors did. Heva Nui, Heva, I believe, was the one who, after King Kamehameha the Great had died, Heva was the one who helped to abolish the Kapu system. Heva was the one that knew that there was a Hawaiian, the Hawaiian god's time was to be at an end. He knew that the new god is coming up. You see, back in those days, in the early 1800s, Kamehameha, I think, died around 1819, 1818. The first missionary didn't even come to Hawaii till later, 1820. When they were doing that, they had foreigners, and the foreigners brought disease. They brought smallpox. They brought the flu. They brought all of that kind of stuff. And so Kamehameha would pray to his gods for cures for his people. And it didn't work. The Hawaiian gods did not cure the diseases. One of Kamehameha's wives got sick with, I think it was yellow fever, not yellow fever. She got sick with some kind of fever, and Kamehameha then sacrificed. He was going to sacrifice between 30 and 40 men on the slopes of Diamond Head to make her better. And she said no. Basically, the gods were no longer working. The gods, worshiping them, the gods did not do what they were meant to do. And so they were overthrown. Ooh, footsteps. Hello there. Maybe that was my footsteps. Got a little fishing camp over there. Get one cow right over there running around. And so yeah, to the Hawaiians, gods were not infallible. They were not omnipotent. They were not omniscient. You worship them so long as they gave you the outcome you desired. For example, you would worship a god of war until you started losing battles, and then you'd switch to a new god of war. You'd kick them to the curb. Their Amakua is the mo'o. Oh, that's great. They decimated the population. Yep, the population said to be from 500,000 to 1 million people in Hawaii. Pretty good for people who never discovered metal. Down to less than 20,000 in about 100 years. The Hawaiians had no resistances, no immunities to the common cold, let alone smallpox, yellow fever, the Black Plague that came down in 1900, burned down half of Chinatown, controlling that. You know, it was a time that was really, really, really bad. We'll go into that a little bit later when I do my downtown walking tour later this month. I'll take you guys around Iolani Palace, take you guys to Heiau, the state capitol, tell you guys all those stories. You guys can hear me breathing hard the whole night because I'll be walking and talking, but I won't have a Starlink balanced on my head, so that'll be a good thing. Lorraine, sorry, I didn't finish that. I did not go up Mauna Kea today because my son was sick. And I don't want to go up Mauna Kea by myself in case of sickness, yeah? Altitude sickness. I keep hearing something on the left of me. I'm hearing the grass shake and move, and I'm hearing the trees moving. Speaking of Amakua, my sister passed last year, and one of the conversations we had was what she plans to come back as an Amakua. And so she told me what she plans to come back as. Something in the ocean. And every time I come up here, I look for her. Because over here, you can see the kohola, the whale. Either that or the honu, she said. Thank you for all the likes. Mahalo. There's another truck coming down over here. You know, maybe we can visit Kamehameha's place. I could tell a few more stories about Ku. This is also, as you can tell, popular fishing place. People like to go fishing here. So, you guys heard that voice too, yeah, back then, earlier. I really don't think it was a person. Because as you can see, it's a long walk to check on somebody. If people are gonna go up to the Heiau, you're gonna wanna know what, you're not gonna wanna know that badly what they're doing. Or anyway, I wouldn't. All I know is Makana better come tomorrow because I'm not carrying this thing around. He is. Well, you have kids, right? That's not gonna work. I don't think, yeah, it's not gonna work. Thank you, Johanna. Yeah, the voice and the flute or the whistle. We have record of one of our ancestors who was sent there and she didn't have it, but her land was taken. Oh man. I'm sorry, I start ideas and then I don't follow them through. The kahuna nui of this place here is a female. She is an auntie and she's the one that takes charge of this. And to me, that in itself is very significant. That in itself shows how far we have come, even as a people. A place that was for... That was a cow, maybe? Yeah. That's fantastic, and I love to see it. I want to just stand up. So I'm putting my tripod up. There we go. It came right after the men on the wall of the Heiau started walking. So yeah, Uwe, you can see things on the video. What was happening around that time when we heard the voices? And what has been happening the whole time? Because I pick up on the mana, but I haven't been able to pick up on people or spirits or entities. Not tonight anyway. I feel that the place was just gorgeous and beautiful and quiet and peaceful. Wasn't there another time last month when there was a flute or whistle? Maybe, possibly. I can't remember. There's always something. Matt, do you recall that at all? So, 2000 and I want to say 2010 or 2011. Where's Melody? She can always yes, Auntie Leomumi. Exactly. I had emailed them, but I didn't receive an email response. I wanted to learn more and to be able to share more and hopefully come up here in the daytime and meet them. Yeah, this is the place where their goal is to teach, yeah? And this is an amazing opportunity to teach. There you go. I was taking a video with my phone and played it back, and it played back to me once and then erased it. Oh, wow. Sorry, yeah. This place in the daytime is just amazing. But I did hear a guy, and I did hear a whistle or a flute or something like that. Yeah, full moon, this is the time to come, I'll tell you. If we're to come on this when there was no moon, it would be different. The ringtone is one that I remember too, yeah. We had the cell phone ringtone when we had stream snipers. Hey, somebody want to come out here and stream snipe me? Brah, be my guest. You could bring me some food too while you at it. Maybe a coffee. But the feeling over here is just overwhelmingly peaceful, considering the events that happened. Sorry, I'm just kind of enjoying this right now. Yesterday, oh, whoa. Yesterday, time went forward and backwards for me and two friends. Oh, wow. Didn't hear the guy, but I heard the whistle. I would definitely bring you food product if I was on Big Island. Don't worry, don't worry. Men were walking, 3, 4 men on the wall, then turned and watched you, then turned and walked off screen to the right. Okay. Were you able to see any shadows moving across the lights in front of the camera on the live stream last night? I haven't had time. Last night, let me tell you guys about last night. Hey, Dolly, how's it? You're on Big Island, right on. Come cruise up here. No, just kidding. Just kidding. Last night was something. I left Mackenzie's last night, and as I was driving up, not even 20 minutes, I almost hit a cow. There's this dairy cow, white and black, just stopped in the middle of the road. Those, I never really realized how big they are. They're huge. And then there were pigs on the highway. One went under my car, under my Jeep. I saw one, I avoided it, and then another one dashed out, and it went under my car. This is such a weird night. I stay up North Kohala Coast over at Mo'okini. That was last night when I had the 2 hour plus drive home. Jamie, was that tonight? Because I did see someone walk on the wall. What? You saw someone walk on the wall? Turned to look at you and walked off camera. So that wall is huge. It's over 10 feet, probably closer to 15 to 20 feet high. And there, I don't know if there's anybody that would walk on the wall of a Heiau that's over 1,000 years old, right? How far away am I? I am far away. There's Maui right behind me. I don't know, you cannot see the lights though. No, I haven't gotten a chance to check the footage yet. Huh. Boy, okay. Whew. I've never been to the Kamehameha birthing site, his birthplace. It's right down over here, right next to here. And I don't think I'm going to walk because next to here could mean many things. What I might do is take the roof off of the Jeep and pray for the best. Or I'll cut the live, drive down there, and reinitiate. Because the Starlink isn't going to work too good in the car. I'm not about to hold a $500 piece of equipment on top of my roof as I drive off-roading. That's just really... Unless you're seeing things. But yeah, there were men walking on the wall. Man, what the heck? Why, Uncle? You know any stories of Molokai? Yeah? Not personally. I've never been to Molokai. I've always wanted to go. Uilani has stories. She's been to, oh, actually, Sean has stories too on YouTube. Guarantee. When I first did my ghost tour, when I first started the ghost tour, the first tour I did by myself, I had one van and it was just me, and the people in my car were a family and they were from Molokai. I cannot remember their name, but one of them was one of the politicians down here. A representative or something. Huh. It's a boat, sorry. Like, there's a green light all the way out in the ocean over there. That's a very slow-moving akualele if I ever saw one. No. He shared some stories with me. Like, one, there was this shopping center that was going to be built. And so they got all the bulldozers, they got all the equipment, they got everything there. And when they ceremoniously broke the ground with the shovel, you know, cut the red tape kind of thing, The shovel hit the ground, opened up an underground cavern, and millions of lizards came out of the cavern and swarmed the construction site. They were too scared that nobody went back to grab the construction equipment, and supposedly it's still rusting to this day. Yeah, no, don't worry. Yeah, Jamie says thank you for confirming that, Uilani. Um, it's the kind of you don't mess with stuff. Yeah. Are you clairvoyant too? I can be. I can, if I can concentrate and shut my trap for a few minutes, sometimes a few seconds. But I know you guys want to hear stories and stuff, right? Then again, if you think about it, this place wouldn't be bustling back in the day. If they were doing a ceremony, this is what I would tell on Oahu when I would do the walking tour. If they were doing, because downtown Chinatown is the Pakaka Heiau, that 4th Street Mall was built over a human sacrificial Heiau. One that Kamehameha lived on the corner of 4th Street Mall and Queen Street. That's where he had lived because that was the Heiau, right? If people, if they were doing something that required human sacrifice, let's say maybe 10 or 15 people, 20 people, and they got all the kawa that they could, but they still needed people, or prisoners of war, and they still needed people, and you're in the area, well, guess what? You just volunteer, you know? Right on that. The beings on the walls are guardian spirits. They were watching. You were respectful. You were left untouched. Yep. Okay, that's good. That makes a lot more sense. You're trying to learn not to be scared of your gift? Well, then what you need to do is focus on the guardians around you. Talk to them. Look at them. Let them guide you, right? Fear is not your friend. Fear can help you in some situations, but fear will hold you back a lot. How Doug explained it to me, and I completely understand this, is when you sign that contract before you're born to become a human, when you wait in that line, you sign a contract. Part of that contract is you're given gifts. You're given tools to accomplish what you're meant to in this life. And the tools could be family. The tools could also be clairvoyant abilities, empaths, empathy. But this all goes into the purpose of why you're here. You have these gifts for a reason. You need to learn how to use them. Yeah. That's how I've always seen it, is it's your kuleana and it's your responsibility to use the gifts, to not be afraid of them, to learn how to use them. But it can be scary. It's like if you were born with a gun on your hand or a knife as a hand, that could be scary. It could be traumatized because you've hurt people without meaning to. But if you learn how to use it and if you learn how to control it, it could be a benefit, you know. Clairvoyant is there's a whole lot of different types. There's clairaudient, there's clairvoyant, there are a lot of different ones. There's all the senses. I've even met people who were like tactile. They could feel things that weren't there. They would touch an object and know the memories and that kind of stuff. And it could be a mixture of all those. It has all these different gifts. Yeah. Yep. If you're afraid, that doesn't change the fact that you have the gift. If you were born with a knife as a hand or a gun as a hand, being afraid and panicking is more likely to hurt somebody than not, right? It's your responsibility to learn. And Matt, I don't know if I said it, but that's cool. Hi, Patricia. How's it? One more story over here, and then I wanted to go over some of the history, because some of the history is just amazing. I love the Hawaiian history, yeah? Especially over here on the Big Island, and I kind of wanted to do that at Kamehameha's birthing site. The Bishop Museum. There's a story that I can tell and a story that I can't. There were the images that I showed you. At one point, and Melody knows this, I don't. The year, I can't remember, but I remember I was doing the ghost tours. There were 3 of the Ki'i is a tiki, same thing. The wooden images, the wooden idols of the Ku, the god Ku. Three of them. They got together in Bishop Museum. They were from different places because when the Hawaiians overthrew their own religion, they burned the idols. They tore apart their heiaus. They they desecrated their own places. You know, that's why a lot of the things were hidden. The reason why these two things still exist is because they were given the sailors and they were shipped to New England and they were shipped to other countries and all of that stuff as well. And so they finally, the three of them finally made it back to Hawaii. I'm unsure if one was already here, but what had happened was it was on exhibit for a little while and then two of them returned home or returned to another place. And these three Ku together, they were so happy to be reunited. It had been over 200 years since they'd been home. It had been over 2 centuries since they'd been back home. And they absolutely loved it. But them together, the mana was so powerful. I read in an article that men would approach these statues and break down and cry for no reason at all. Just the mana was incredible. You know, the last day, I remember the last day that they were going, that when they closed Bishop Museum, about they closed the Hawaii Hall, I think it was 4 or 5 p.m. that day. I was driving from Kaneohe to Waikiki to do a ghost tour. And at that time, I'd always look at the clouds. I'd always look at the clouds and study them and see what I see. And that would tell me what would happen on the tour that night. And as I was driving down, I noticed at Bishop Museum, it was raining over Bishop Museum, just over Bishop Museum. And a double rainbow appeared just over Bishop Museum at closing time, the last time all the three brothers would be together. That was very powerful too, yeah. Yeah, it was a very powerful thing. Ku is symbolized by the double rainbows. My name, my tattoo is, let me show again. I'm going to stand on the camera. I don't know if you guys can see me, but yeah. So this is ripples in a pond. Throw a rock in, ripples get bigger and bigger. This is a sail. The sail billows out and gets bigger. These are rocks. You rub the rocks together, make smoke. Smoke billows out, gets bigger. So the name, I was told, originally means to billow out to get bigger, generation by generation by generation, you know. And so that's what the punohu meant. But then I found out that wasn't what punohu meant. That's what the petroglyph meant. Punohu is a red tinged rainbow, like a rainbow at sunset. Red, of course, symbolizing the blood, perhaps. I'm not sure. So yeah, that's what punohu means. Double rainbow symbolizes Ku. My oldest son was born at Castle Hospital under a double rainbow. We looked outside 6:30 in the morning and there was a double rainbow in the ko'olas. Let me read some of the comments. I got a story about him as well. Do the spirits of the sacrificed captives remain in the area or have they moved on? I'm not sure. Mimi, that's an excellent question. I've never paused to consider that before. Maybe they're still in the area. Maybe it's like, I believe that what happens when you die is what you think will happen when you die. It's like you create it for yourself kind of thing, right? So the Christian belief is we go on the ground and we wait, which is why you go to a Christian cemetery and not very often is it actually haunted. You go to a Japanese cemetery and they wait every year for people to come by and dance and obon and food and you know, and when people don't come by and that stuff, they get a little restless and they get upset. So Japanese, even Chinese, even Korean cemeteries tend to be a little more haunted and unrest. So maybe they kind of just do that. So whatever they believe, and as the people who are being sacrificed, I'm not sure what they would have believed. Where are you at tonight? I am at Mo'okini Heiau over North Kohala, Hawi. Sorry, Chris, how's it? Let's see. No croaky frogs tonight. Nope. They don't. This place is all pasture, all dry. Yeah. Joe, have you ever used the app or device that paranormal groups use that lets spirits convey thoughts as pictures and images? Yeah, I have that actually. It's the Seer, the Ghost Tube Seer app. I use that from time to time. I did not bring any devices with me up here, however, because this was simply a storytelling. You know, I did not want them to, out of respect, I'm not gonna put equipment down at a place that's this sacred, right? But I have stuff. What is that? Horses, cows? I kind of thought that was a little clever pun. Walking by, we see all the cows. We're at the Mu'ukini Heiau. Sorry. I don't know how bad that is. Um. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead. I'll let you guys watch me make an ass out of myself. How's that sound? These Jeeps are cool, man. I tell you, I need to get one of these on my own. Need a place for Starlink? No problem. There we go. Manual convertible. Oh, tripod. It doesn't look like it's gonna rain tonight. Hey, yeah. So we're gonna go Kamehameha's birthplace next. Right down the road. We'll see. I've never been there. I agree that every person's death is kind of tailored to their own soul or spirit. Whatever they need or think. I'm not sure what stipulates that, but I get the feeling that it goes something like that. Yeah. And so it's true that if you think you're gonna go to hell because you're bad, you're gonna go to hell because you're bad. All right, so resume. We're back. Am I back? That's funny. What the heck? Test, test. You guys back? Nope. I'm gonna end and do another live.